All right.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Woolie, how you doing? You feeling great today? That's great.
I mean, look, I'm here, right?
Yeah, that's the spirit.
I made
Yeah.
it back, and I got everything plugged in, and we are live. To be honest, like so usually if I look at a travel weekend and I go, all right, well, this is going to be a traveling early on Monday, get back in, put everything together, and get ready to go. Then Tuesday's more than fine, in most cases. However, given I had like probably my worst travel day experience yesterday, it's a little bit more difficult than that. But I still decided to not try to push things any further forward because I'd rather
I wouldn't have been able to do tomorrow.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But I mean,
have a Thursday. Fuck.
Because to start at the end, after MagFest, getting back was it was tricky because based on the timing of when I had got looked into the flights and stuff, usually you fly out. There's the 15-minute away airport, and then there's the hour away airport.
Right. Yeah.
And so most of the time I try to take the closer one. This time it ended up being the further one, and getting there. Did the whole thing, got in 3 hours international. For anybody who ever travel, if you travel international, it's always recommended you be there 3 hours in advance, in case shit goes wrong.
Bullshit, man.
Exactly, right. If it's a local traveling thing, then it's much less than that usually. But anyway, so so for whatever reason, flight delayed, gets canceled.
Hell yeah.
Right? Been there before. Nothing new on that. So
it happens.
Was
your flight direct?
Yeah, it was direct. Yeah.
Okay, well, delayed direct flight is like, but delayed connecting is like, fuck.
Yeah. So, even if you have pre-check, by the way, if you're thinking you're getting that you can.
Ah, man.
You still want to have those extra hours. Believe me.
Yeah, you want to get out of the regular long line into the also long pre-check line.
I have pre-check. I go through this shit as fast as possible, given that like traveling is part of what I do, and I'm still telling you, you can't just assume you're going to be fine with pre-check. Canada doesn't have Clear. That's an America only like separate like company thing or whatever, but. In any case, like the way we do things, it's like you save a lot of time on the back end, but you can't risk it going in. So anyway, the flight got canceled, and I'm like, okay, so let's see what happens, right? That's
just
normal.
Straight up.
That's happened before, right? So it's like you're gonna rebook us, all right, fine. Please be today and not tomorrow. That would be nice,
Not good.
And after about maybe like 20 minutes or so. You would get the update to the boarding pass and everything. And it's like, okay, there's a new flight. You're going to be on it, and it's going to be 4 hours from now. So, instead of in the early afternoon, you're going to be flying out in the evening. It's like, all right. Says here it's a different gate. Originally we were at a gate in the Z section, and now we got to go back over to A.
Well, you have 4 hours to get there.
Sure. Right. So it's like, all right, everybody's at the gates talking like, this sucks. But, it is what it is. And it is pretty cold, I guess. Could be a weather thing or whatever. So everybody starts like getting their stuff and whatnot. We roll back over, and head over to the new gate. Myself, Punch Bomb, and Reggie. And and so getting there, we kind of are chilling, looking around, getting settled in, trying to find the seats and whatnot. And, we're just kind of like, okay, well, like everything baggage related should be like directly sent over, right? This is how these things typically have gone in the past. If something goes off or whatever.
Please don't tell me you were taking American Airlines. Please don't tell me you were taking American Airlines.
I was not taking American Airlines. In many a situation, in most situations, I'm taking Air Canada.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And so take a look at the updated info for the new flight coming in, and it doesn't we're just kind of like looking at it. We're like, we're at the right gate, but it's that thing where it hasn't shown up on the gate yet, and it doesn't say next.
It's in your app or whatever.
But it's in the app, and you're like, this is okay. So we're like, what's going on with that? Why does this not seem to be? And it's also like, okay, well, now we're in a united area, so let's just go ask over there what's going on, right? And this is like, I guess, like, some time has passed, maybe 2 hours or so,
Oh, no.
Head over, go, so, hey, this is the right gate, right? We're here. That says that the things have been moved over to this one. And they're like, oh, you actually want to be in terminal, whatever for Z, where the Air Canada stuff is. I was like, right, but that got canceled. And then they told us to come here to specifically gate A3. And he looks at it, he's like, yeah. And he looks at it again, and he goes, this is at Ronald Reagan Airport.
No, you fucking... No.
You're at Dulles. They rebooked you at an airport an hour away.
At a different airport.
They rebooked you at a different airport, and it just updated, and at no point indicates that to you. At no point tells you. It just says, yeah, no, go to. It's like gate A3 now, from Z10 to A3, and it's like, what? Like what? Right? It's like, yeah, you're gonna need to. Yeah, okay. So it's one of those bits where it's like, okay,
that's not. It's not a bit.
Well, but it's just like
it must have felt like a bit at the time.
But I'm like, I know, having been there or having been in these situations and having been with people as well, where you're like, when the airport is just completely batshit crazy and loses its mind, no one gives a fuck. Too bad, it's your problem. Too bad, eat shit. Right? And if you get upset at that, or if you're bothered by that, or if you try, it doesn't matter. That's just, you're not going to get your way. Fuck you. And like, so it's immediately like, I don't even have time to think about trying to process. Let's just go. Right?
Yeah, no, there's no time now.
Let's just go. So we're getting
clear security.
Getting and going, right? And then there's that decision of like, okay, well, this is an hour away, and we're out of the zone for the safety check-in point. So now I'm like, hold on, we need to check this with the gate agent to make sure that that's actually the case and that this is not someone fucking up, right? We need to check this with the Air Canada agent. There's the one that's in the terminal that we were originally at, which is not where we were currently went to, but that's going to take a train ride to get there. Or we can go out to where the exit and taxis and stuff are going to be, but that exits our clearance. And if we have to go exit,
no longer in the secure cordon.
And if we have to exit the clearance, then coming back in is going to take a whole thing. And then, and like our luggage. And so I'm just like, okay, got to make a call here. Let's go to the curbside and then speak to the agent over there and
That's probably what I would have done.
Find out what the fuck's going on, because going back to the inside one, like with the clearance, it's just like, it's too risky, and I want to be able to get the fuck in a car, because this clearly says, hey, yo, you're not here, right? Go over there, it's closed, because they're like, yeah, we're gone for the day or whatever, right? Just, we're done. We'll be back here tomorrow morning. Cool. Hey, Iceland Air. Can anyone next door, can you please find somebody? There's an emergency right now and we're about to get fucked over. Is there anybody? So they go into the booth, they grab someone, that comes over, and dude's like, hey, yeah, what's going on? And I'm like, what the fuck? We got rebooked at an airport at an hour away, and this isn't indicated on the email I got, or on the text message I got, or on the app that I got. Like the 3 different places where they alert you to things going on, none of these things indicated that. And he's like looking and going, okay, hold on. And he's like, oh no, well, oh wait, he goes, and he goes, yeah, you're gonna have to get over there. You should be able to get there with just enough time if you leave right now. And I'm like, okay, and our bags are already over there? And he goes, wait, hold on, what color are your bags? And I describe them, and he goes into the office right next to him and goes, actually, they're right in here. And I'm like, so there was you didn't automatically transfer them.
You were just going to keep them.
They were just here in this office upstairs out by the curbside. How the fuck did that happen, right? Why was there no... And they're like, well, he's like, oh, we sent it over the comms. You know, and I'm like, did you say it? You have, okay, we said it over the comms. I was there, and we said that, you know, you were going to need to come grab these. And it was like, are you talking about like when everyone was filing out and when at what point? If there's people that are walking from different gates, from different areas, from different bathrooms, who the fuck knows at what point that happens?
I have never heard an announcement on the airport communication system that I've understood in my life.
And furthermore, at any point when you're moving around, usually with the app and boarding pass and shit, there will be things that say your luggage has been now loaded onto the plane. It is transferred over to here. You don't need to pick it up. It has all these little things if you're moving around and it's telling you what's going on. So the time when it's crucial to know what the fuck is happening, it doesn't have any indicator of that, much less the fact that the airport itself is completely changed. And we just happened to get lucky enough to walk to the exact booth where it's like, oh yeah, we just happened, we happened to wheel it right here. So just like, and it's like, you know, it's at that point where like he starts getting like attitude back in a way, going like, well, we said it, and you know, that's if we said it and you didn't hear it, well, you know, and it's just getting that kind of like indignant about it. And I'm like, right, I remember this point where it's like, yeah, you're not gonna like anger your way into a victory here. They don't give a fuck because they're so used to getting yelled at when the customer is wrong that even when they're completely in the wrong, they're still gonna get this attitude and get shitty about it, and it doesn't fucking matter. So just like, it's almost like tune it out. Just please print out our shit. Right? We need to get the fuck going. Can we make it in time? Can you assure that we can make it in time? That's what you're saying? Yes. Okay. Give us our shit. Get whatever. And then it's like, okay, it's an hour away. How much is that fucking gonna cost? And they're like, oh yeah, we'll print out your voucher, and here you can go. You can get a free ride over there, and here's a bunch of extra credit money for a meal at the airport, or credit on whatever. You know, like you clearly fucked up, but you're
something.
But you're giving me attitude as if like, you know, we were in the wrong. But yeah, well, next time, fucking. You know, well, maybe you should hear better. Now here is the apology pieces that we're giving you for what is indicating that something wrong took place here, but it doesn't matter who's responsible, you know? Anyway, take that, wheel, run, go. You know, like get to the place where we were told to go. Of course, there's no taxis there. Just like, I see a captain. I'm like, hey, captain, like, where's the nearest taxi? We're going to get fucked over here. And, you know, very nice, pointed us. He's like, actually, yeah, you're supposed to go down this ramp in a different way from the way that the person told you.
Oh, so even the directions to the taxis were incorrect?
Fucking awesome. Get there. There's one small car, and it's like, cool, we have all our luggage, and there's three of us, and we have our check. Like, can we make it work? And the taxi's like, I'll do my best. Let's do it. Gets us in there. We do it. We go. You know, great. Fucking cool. Hope we can do it in the 45 or whatever, you know, at this point. On the way, looking at the app where it says the updated flight was, suddenly the updated flight, I'm like because me and Punch Mom and stuff were like, okay, let's get our boarding passes and get ready to go. Looking at that flight, it's suddenly just gone from the list.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so good.
And we're midway through, and I'm like, okay, so there's just no flight listed. And I'm like,
well, the airplane got tired and took a nap.
And I'm like, well, I'm just like, okay, well, one, thank fucking God that we have the bags with us and we're in a car right now doing whatever, because I couldn't imagine relying on any part of this system to actually transfer the shit to the place it was supposed to go at this point. Because what happens if the new thing that they book you on gets delayed? Where do your fucking bags go even then? Like, I don't even know. But
they go to some guy's apartment where he scavenges it for iPods.
Straight up. So what even happens next? So at this point, I'm looking at it. The new flights got like just not listed there too. Going to the website, it's like, it seems like it was like, is it delayed or something? And it's just not showing up. So I'm just like, okay, fuck all this. Grab the old record locator, go through the old check-in process again. And now instead of showing me like, oh, sorry, your flight was canceled and we're putting you on a new one, it says you have to call an agent. Right, just get on the phone and we'll have to sort this out like the old school way or whatever. So I'm like, okay, get on the phone, get through the process. The process of using a phone for calling the airline is basically, I want to say, a solid 5 minutes up front of like, did you know that you can use the website or app and not the phone, you fucking idiot? You should
have told me to call the phone. I would never use the phone unless a human being told me I had to call the phone.
You should get the fuck off the phone right now, you stupid moron. You should actually really use this app or website.
The phone because your app is a piece of fucking shit.
And then at a certain point it's like, yeah, so are you sure that there's nothing that you needed that couldn't be solved with the website, that we should proceed with this call? And it's like, yes, proceed with the call, please. It's like, okay, would you like us to send you a message about how to use the website in more detail? Like, we could give you instructions if you don't know how to use a website. And it's like, no, I need to use the thing. And it's like, okay, cool, thank you. And I'm just like, it's the response bot or whatever. And yeah, get through to the person and like explain the scenario. And she's like, yeah, so I can't really I can't really book you on anything from here if it's saying that you're unable to check in or whatever on the app. And I'm like, stop this entire process. Let's start at the beginning. Like, literally, the thing.
Where's my plane?
Like, we are like ignore. I like, because we've walked down a complicated pathway and you might or might not be really paying attention. I'm like, ignore everything. Let's just start from scratch here. Our flight has been canceled. We're in a car moving to another airport because we were told to go there. Can you please help us get onto a new flight and ensure that we can check it in time? And it's like, okay, yeah, let's look here. And she's like, okay, cool, yeah, I can do something this. I can see now that your account has the old flight logged as your current flight, even though it was canceled. So I'm going to erase that and, like, take a look again. And then I'm like, cool, I look at it, and then, yeah, sure enough, now that the old canceled flight is not blocking what is my current status as whatever travel, the new flight pops up again. And I'm like, cool, awesome, thank you. Can you check us in?
Where is that new flight?
We're squaring into like almost the near 90-minute range or so. Can you check us in? And it's like, okay, cool. You can do it on the app. And I'm like, great. Can you stay on the phone while I do that, please? Can you just hang out? I just please. It's like, yeah, sure.
I have also done this, and they always hit you with this like sigh, and I'm like, I have had it happen. Like, I've done it like in person, where I'm like, can I sign in on the app or would do whatever that I need to do, or the email, like at the customer service kiosk, and the person's like rolling their eyes, and then it fails in front of them, and I get to just stay there and go here. Like, when I got a new phone plan and I wanted to transfer my phone number, that process took 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I had to keep rotating through. And at some point, I'm like, I'm just going to call my phone company in front of you.
That's it.
And then it failed, and then I put them on speaker and just handed them to the guy at the kiosk.
Because the incompetence that has led to this was some human bullshit a minute ago before we got in the car. And now that this extra part is failing, this is your technology not doing what it's supposed to do, while every automated process in your system is telling me to keep using this thing. So while you're here, stay there so that I can confirm this is working, please. And then you don't just go like, yep, it's great, bye. And then we're fucked. So yeah.
Yeah, because if you had to go through that process again, you wouldn't even be able to check in before the flight left, right?
Exactly. And sure enough, I go through, I check in, awesome, check in Punch Bomb, check in Reggie, doesn't check in me. Says you're going to have to wait and go see someone at a desk for that. Like, okay, great. Is there anything you can do about that?
The guy who's doing
it won't let me do it. Okay, cool. And on top of this, because like I brought extra setup stuff like tech and camera wise or whatever, I paid for an extra check-in as well. So I'm like, can I also just not have the money I spent to check in another bag go to nothing? Would that be possible? And yeah, sure, lady's just like, yeah, you're just going to have to go over to the booth when you get in there. So it's like, all right, cool, that'll take extra time that we don't have. Instead of just going straight to the gate and rushing, we're going to have to go find a person at the wonderful, and it's just...
There's a really strange attitude I've dealt with every single time I've spoken to anyone at an airport under any context. Not in the airplane. At the airport specifically, where they're like, oh yeah, just do this thing that takes time. But I'm at an airport. I don't have time to do anything because the airplane gonna leave.
Yep. And that's the thing, is every single time it's like, are you assuring me that I have time to do this, right? Because I'm also thinking every time these types of things happen, and I find myself, there's times where I've been sprinting through fucking Pearson, or whatever, banking a corner to the airport, to the flight. I'm like, is grandma getting a drive down in one of those carriers going to be able to make it in time?
No.
Anyway,
no.
So yeah, and whatever, run through, get to the desk. It's like, hey, okay, cool, check in, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, hey, even though over at the other airport we checked this in with your laptop, but this time we can't, so pull it. Like, so there's different policies depending on which one we're at for this.
Well, in the time you were in that taxi cab, you could have hidden a bomb in that laptop.
Natural, awesome, great, yeah. And like, as I'm kind of going, like, well, it's just weird because we just came from this same thing being checked in as was, and a dude comes from the back to be like, well, sir, you got it, and I'm like, it's fine. I'm not starting any issues here. Just please, we just want to get in and go. And yeah, like, roll through to that, and just as one last little swift fucking, just little nut check, just poke, on the way, is going through the security and like getting all of the boarding passes scanned, and the person who scans mine looks at it and goes, okay, cool, yeah, you're at D51, scans Punch Mom's, goes D52, scans Reggie's and goes D33. All right, and we're like,
we're all on the same flight, man.
and like, at that point, I'm just like, I'm so dead. I'm at that, like, I've gotten to the point where like 5 minutes prior, when I was going through the bit and I had the pre-check thing, and the guy's like, oh, your pre-check, go this way, go this way, go this way. And then we're like, okay, cool, thank you. When I go that way, and he's like, oh, no, wait, it's closed. Sorry, come back around, right? So because that happened, I'm like, oh, now I'm just having fun. Now we're just getting loose with it. I'm just like, yeah, let's go. Let's have a good time. Like, let's have it all go wrong at this point. Don't drop the combo. Keep the rhythm up, right? If this day is going to go fucking nuts, if this is going to be the dumbest flying day ever, then keep it up. Have more go wrong, please, I get to that loose point. And then, yeah, just walking by when the person reads off 3 different incorrect gates for where we're supposed to go, I'm just like I'm just laughing, and we move past it, and I check the computer and I check the thing, and it's like, no, we're all at the same one, which is not what was said there at all. And I was just like,
was any of the 3 correct?
Yes, the last one, right? Reggie got his correct, Punch Mom and I got our gates wrong. And I was just like, could you imagine if someone listened to you? Like, what if someone was here doing this thing and then they listened to you as a person who's giving information about what they're supposed to do? Like, in this situation too as well, where we're on the clock and everything's urgent. It's fucking
going to the airport is so uniquely miserable.
Oh,
because
boy.
there's like an authoritative bent to everything, because it's not just these people have control over whether or not you're going to travel, and you're usually in a foreign country. It's also that like they have legal authority to just cock block your shit at like any on a whim.
Yeah.
But they're all like insanely incompetent. And like every time I think about bad airport story, I think about like an instance that happened to me twice at 2 different American airports, in which I asked, is today a take your shoes off day? And I received the answer, yeah. Like I'm an idiot. And at a different airport, I received the answer, no.
Yep.
Like I'm an idiot.
Yep.
Why would I know your security protocol in a city that I don't live in?
Every time. And different sizes, different airports in the same city, depending on who's doing what, have different energy for what you're supposed to do. Laptops out, laptops in, shoes off, shoes on, right? I remember when like sanitizer was like enough to travel with, and a nail clipper was not allowed, and now it is allowed, and it's like, okay, cool. But that exhaustion at a very, very reasonable question is that's exactly it, right? Knowing that that's the energy, it's and I've also like people I know and people have traveled with and stuff, there's been situations where it's like getting upset even when you're in the right does not help in any way. They just go, we're gonna fucking kick you out, we're gonna get you, like like, because it's just right, you're looking at a whatever the fucking percentage of like Karen based behavior is, right? There's a percentage of that where you're like, no, you're just fucking me over in every possible way. And a bunch of this too involves automation where a person could fix the problem, but in this case the person is actually making it worse.
Isn't it way easier to just have the robot do it? Wait, it's not, and actually customer service reps are now drowning under complaints because the system doesn't work.
So it just like at the point where like, you know, the apology printouts are happening, I'm just like, okay, I'm just basically explaining, like me and Punch Mom are just talking like, wow, it's really stupid how this thing tells you all the important stuff about where your bag's going, but the most crucial thing, like get up and change airports, isn't on the app. Isn't that crazy? And it's like, yeah, I don't know why. What's the point of it then? Like you're pushing this as and we're just having our conversation between ourselves in front of because it's like what else are you gonna do at that point, you know? Anyway, we got in at whatever fuck in the morning, you know, and are here, but it's just.
Oh, so you got in this morning?
Yes.
Oh, no wonder you sound like shit. Oh, that sucks.
It like there was a point where I'm like on the way, you know, like it's a 2-hour flight from Montreal to Washington, and on the way by the time we got back home, I'm like, we could have been at Narita airport right now. Like this was a flight to Japan in how long this process took.
It feels good to be back after that fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
Dude, I never told this story before, but when I was traveling with a friend of mine internationally, we had to do a connecting flight to Toronto, and we almost missed our flight because they did that thing where they offloaded us to that tiny little baby Toronto airport.
Porter.
Right?
Billy Bishop.
Us specifically.
Billy
like
fucking Bishop, baby.
Because he had to be randomly checked.
Mm.
Because he had an Arabic last name, but he had to be checked on the connecting,
mm-hmm.
which was insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were almost late. We barely got on the connecting flight, and the person at the gate gave us shit for showing up late after they pointed us to a different landing location.
Like, unless you beat me into it and there's no other way, I will never fly Porter fucking shit ever again. It's insane.
There's only one reason to fly Porter, and the reason is I only want to go from Montreal to Toronto or Toronto to Montreal.
Downtown Toronto specifically.
That's the only, like, if you want to have any other location combination ever, you don't do it.
So I guess to translate for Americans, like this is what they call you guys call like Spirit Airlines equivalent. Yeah. But what if they had their own airport? Right, and what if it was
that doesn't connect to the real airport?
And what if it was built on an aircraft carrier? Essentially, I feel like that's what it is. I feel like it's an airport just built on an aircraft carrier, floating out just off the dock, and and also because the wind is insane flying off the water. Every one of their planes, which are propeller planes, which are very tiny, have the most insane batshit turbulence you've ever felt.
I tell you what, though, I love good turbulence, man. I think it's fun as shit.
Yeah, relaxing.
Because I think turbulence is fucking cool because I'm not worried about it. Mm-hmm. My wife does not think turbulence is fucking cool.
Yeah,
and that's really funny to me. But it's also other people on the flight do not think that turbulence is cool,
no.
And I'm like, the plane go bouncy.
Okay, well, for most people, it's pretty fucking churning. Understandably, I did learn something that made me feel a lot better about it, which is that essentially the way planes, especially modern planes, are built, turbulence is never what causes an issue. It's always like a bird strike or a landing gear issue or whatever. So a bunch of shaking around and whatever, nothing has ever like gone horrendously wrong as a result of just turbulence, you know?
But when we went and got this freak dog from America, we took a America to Canada ferry. Mm-hmm. And that motherfucker hit some waves. Like, that thing was going at to like 40-degree angles on either side. Go, whoa, whoa. And I was walking around holding the baby, and we were going, woo, while other people on the boat were going, oh my God, we're gonna tip. And I'm just like, haha. Boat go back and forth.
That being said, having been in planes where you get the drop and you're shooting upwards and almost hitting your head on the fucking thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you're like, no, that's potentially lethal type shit. So
yeah, but it's fun if you're in your seatbelt with you put your seatbelt
okay,
on.
well, no, shut up. You're insane. But like,
like a roller coaster for free.
Like, people have broken fucking limbs, and like, I think there have been fatalities from heads hitting the top of the fucking.
Oh, absolutely, but they didn't happen to me.
All right. Well, in any case, all that to say that when there's a good turbulence, and the good turbulence is we're pulling in for landing, and you can see you can see it turning and getting ready to land. So like, look out the window, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm feeling that because we're just lining up and everything's going good. So great. But yeah, fucking Porter's insane. Fuck that airport shit. I'm beyond exhausted and tired. And
I'm glad you made it back home, bud.
No, and I think in conclusion, we all kind of were like, as we're out of there, we're like, the amount of insane, stupid shit that went wrong today is grounds. If we felt like Karening the fuck out, we could.
Yeah.
Right? We absolutely could. I don't have the energy or wherewithal. I just want to get back to my bed. But there was more than enough there each step of the way that could have gotten us fucking shit or you know, free vouchers or whatever, you know. Anyways,
we're very sorry for your unoptimal flying experience. We hope you fly with us again.